This Guy's Garage. Like and subscribe.
So you're requesting $1.2 billion of extra money in this update. And of course, this is for an immigration system described by your very government as a mess. Out of the $1.2 billion, $1.1 billion is for asylum seekers, people that have crossed our broken and weak border. And I want to understand exactly what benefits asylum seekers get. So if an asylum claimant arrives at the Montreal airport, will IRCC pay them for a hotel?
Deputy Minister.
So, Chair, the way the asylum system works is that as soon as there is a claim on asylum, it is assessed by CPSA or IRCC, depending upon where the claim is, and accordingly established as basis of claim.
So the hotel is covered then? Is that what you're saying? Once the claim has been applied, once they've applied?
So if there is in Montreal, I'm just giving you a full answer about this. If there is in Quebec, there is a possibility that Prada will probably house up to 1,150, and if there is an overflow, we will house them in the hotel.
Do they receive a food allowance?
I think Su Young, if you can.
Yeah, thank you. So it is not an automatic allowance that asylum claimants would get just because you are an asylum claimant. There is the right to claim asylum, and then they would have to identify whether or not they need shelter. And as part of that, if they end up in an IRCC hotel, then there would be food as part of being at the hotel.
Okay, so they can get food. What about transportation? Is there furniture? Is there household items allowance as well?
No, that would not be covered because they are in the hotel, so there's no furniture that would be required.
Are asylum claimants eligible for, Deputy Minister, for health benefits?
Deputy Minister.
Yes, the asylum claimants are eligible for the first 3 months as for the interim federal health program, and then it is determined whether the provinces will further give them the necessary coverage.
So does that cover things? Obviously, covers primary health care. Does it cover things like glasses, dental work, that sort of thing?
It has a very specific primary care component. It does not have. I don't have the details on hand, Chair, which I can say that it is true that dental or glasses are covered, okay, but the primary thing is covered.
We heard last week that it takes 44 months to process an asylum claim at the IRB. How much of today's new spending is going towards the Immigration Refugee Board to speed up the asylum claim processing?
So, Chair, the IRB has a separate kind of allowance, which is appropriated by the minister, and they are a quasi-judicial organization, and they have had their own money. To us, our connection to them is to prepare the files and give it to them for further assessment.
Okay, so you don't know. I understand. There's no money, no extra money's gone to the IRB to process, just try to speed up claims in this supplemental estimate system. Talking about asylum seekers, how many asylum seekers in the queue are former international students?
I think. At the risk of quoting a number, I think what has been seen lately is that there's been an uptick of students who are actually seeking asylum compared to 2023.
I guess I'm looking for a number. Do you not know the number that are students?
Not on hand, Chair, and we can provide.
So you wouldn't know how many arrived as international students or who were originally international students and you wouldn't know those numbers?
We would actually know we would know how many have arrived, and the actual point is that if we count who have actually exhausted their postgraduate work permit and then have applied, or the ones which have which are the students who have, without even completion of their study, they have applied. So we'll have to separate them out.
So if you could provide this to the committee, how many arrived as international students? How many were originally international students but then transitioned to the postgraduate work program? And also how many transitioned to some other stream? So how many asylum claimants were students but transitioned to another stream? If you could do that within the next 2 weeks, that would be great. Thank you. And is it true that asylum claimants also get a work permit?
Yes. Chair, that it is true that they get work permit.
So does this policy incentivize people to claim asylum in order to be able to work in Canada legally?
We actually have a policy where we allow the asylum claimant, while their asylum claim is being processed, that they are able to support themselves and integrate in the society, and that is why it is meant for that. It's not supposed to be a pull factor.
Your department previously released asylum claims by designated learning institutions up to 2022, and the total was less than 5,000 for that year, and of course now we're seeing more than that every month. Can you table with this committee the updated numbers to that table, so asylum claimants by designated learning institution up to the end of October 2024?
The students?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we will actually go back and try to get that information.
And just to be clear, I'm referring to a report that you published a couple of years ago. It was that's the information it had, and I would just like it to be updated. And if you could provide that within the next 2 weeks, that would be great.
15 seconds. Thank you.
I want to move my motion that pursuant to Standing Order 1082, the committee undertakes a study of no more than 2 meetings to examine the temporary public policy to facilitate temporary resident visas for certain extended family affected by the crisis in Gaza, including the challenges that the Government of Canada faces in facilitating the exit of Gazans, and that Canada is not the only country that faces these challenges. That the committee invites the Minister of Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship to appear for 1 hour with department officials, and that department official appear for an additional hour, and that the committee invites other relevant witnesses in accordance with the usual practice of the committee, that the committee reports its finding to the House, and that pursuant to Standing Order 109, the government tables a comprehensive response to the report. Thank you, Mr.
The motion is in order. I'm going to let the officials go so as we can have discussion. And on behalf of the committee members, I want to thank the officials for being here. So thank you. With that, just give me 1 minute, Mr. McLean.